Hello, this is HHO for volts, and I want to present to you the entire StarShip Energy module. Before we start, I suggest going to this very excellent website. It's M. Allen's 7424. He has the most easy to understand description how a SS Genie operates. And if you're building that type of device, I recommend going there. The Starship, of course, is entirely different than the Bedini SSG. And what you're dealing with an SSG is a repulsion type device. And what happens is the circuit cancels the magnetic field, thus eliminating the cogging once you move the wheel in motion. Now, the difference in coils and the core is the reason. In the Bedini core, you normally have around 800 turns of 23 and 26 gauge wire bifilar, approximately 175 feet. In most designs, it's going to have an iron core. It could have a ferrite core, that would work too. So the Starship coil has no core, just air. Thus, we do not have to deal with hysteresis or cogging. And this is kind of a picture of one that I built that has the C winding on the outside. We no longer really use the C winding. It was kind of interesting. Since we use less wire, we can introduce more current to produce a stronger magnetic field. And in doing so, of course, sometimes heat is induced, but the Starship coils are cooled by the spinning magnetic wheel. And in the SSG, it is a repulsion system. Then the magnetic attraction is canceled out as the wheel turns. And we can run the Starship system both in the attraction mode or the repulsion mode, or both modes at the same time. And here's the real difference. The Starship system can be set up just as a high torque motor, whereas the SSG is strictly a BEMF, back EMF machine with some motor capabilities, but its torque is low. And so we choose right now to use 2" by 1" magnets N42s. However, you can increase the torque at no extra cost in running by going to 3" N52 magnets. Remember that the magnets have actually nothing to do with the back EMF in a Starship system. They are part of the motor. The Super StarShip coil is what produces the back EMF. And the SSG gets much complicated when you start to scale it up and expensive. Where the Starship system is very simple at the start, and it only gets slightly more complicated if you want to add more wheels or coils. And we'll be having coming up here a picture of the coil setup and the controller. So we don't use expensive electronics. We use very few pieces in our design, and it can run 18 coils or more. Here you're seeing the bottom half, 9 coils, and when you put 9 on the top, then you have an 18 coiler. Now there is things to remember, and that's the spacing of the magnet. You can't overdo it. On a 16" diameter, 9 magnets will be the maximum you can do, but as you make a bigger wheel, you can have more magnets and more coils. You do not have to have the same amount of magnets for the same amount of coils you have mounted. In fact, the newest model, we have 8 magnets and we have only 6 coils. So here we are for our first controller. We've got 6 resistors, 1 diode, 2 MOSFETs, 1 omni-field Hall effect transistor, and 2 LEDs. And as we scale it up, it will get a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to list you the parts that are involved in making it a module. And so we'll be coming up here in just a moment. We add 4 ICs and 1 more Hall effect transistor, 6 more MOSFETs, 2 more LEDs, and about 50 mix of resistors and capacitors. And that's just support parts for the ICs. But that's all it is. That's all as complicated it gets. Now we're going to look at the StarShip Energy Module. We're going to make use of the unused poles of the two Starship coils we normally had on top and bottom. Doesn't take any more energy, but by adding two more wheels, we get a lot more torque. In the SSG, the magnet is important to generate the back EMF. The magnets in the Super StarShip module have very little to do in making back EMF. They run the motor. The more magnets, more torque. Here we have the complete module with 4 vertical structures, 3 magnet wheels. So originally we had just 1 magnet wheel and 2 vertical assemblies holding the Starship coils, as you can see here. However, we're not using the other poles off of the Starship coils, so we've added 2 more vertical assemblies. And they have additional coils, and that produces more energy, and they're embedded. Instead of being mounted on top, they're embedded, and they do hump out on either side just a little bit. So the space is very close between the magnet and the embedded Starship coils, but we'll be able to use both poles, where we're just wasting one on each with the original design. And here we're just looking at the magnet structure. Now on the outside ones, you can either continue to use Starship coils if you wanted to drive those for even additional torque, or use AC induction coils with or without cores for generation of power, regular AC. The trade-off will be that you'll have some magnetic cogging, but we have plenty of torque to overcome that. So again, we're just embedding these coils in the vertical structures, and that can be of any material, plastic, wood, anything that's non-magnetic will do. And so originally, remember, we had 2 sets of Starship coils, top and bottom. And what we've done, and why we've done this induction coil thing, is now we can use the StarShip Energy System module driven by a wind turbine coupler. So this gives us either a power takeoff for normal operation. Let's say we're running it off a solar cell panel, or if we want to incorporate a wind turbine. And again, what we're doing here is just showing you these coils are going to be embedded. So let's review what we've added. We've added a panel, a structure on the left, which holds embedded magnets, either Starship coils or regular coils. Then we've added 2 magnet wheels, and that's free energy. It only costs us to buy the magnets initially. And then we have added our coils into that assembly. So you could also take these modules and stack them again for additional power. So with this information, you can decide whether you want to build an SSG or a Starship. And I hope that I've helped you with maybe that choice. I had not decided initially that I was going to build a competing product to the SSG. It was only when I had lab tests done on the Starship coil that I realized that it was a back EMF generator. So each product, the SSG and the Starship Energy System, have different characteristics, but the Starship coil system produces a motor along with a very high back EMF generator. So again, magnets are your initial cost once, so you can scale this up. It'll cost you more money initially to buy it and build it, but it costs you no more current or power to run it. So that's a very big advantage to this. So anyway, this project has pretty much come to an end on this side here. We'll be working on some maybe new Starship coils. I see that Sky Collection is doing a lot of experimenting with compressed Starship coils, and there are other people out there also trying different wind patterns and things like that. And so this is what it's all about. is to pass along information so you can be successful in inventing something, or just have the satisfaction of working with your hands and your mind to come up with something that doesn't exist. So thanks for watching. This is HHO for volts. See you next time. Bye-bye.